Today on Dr. Phil, a mom accused of extreme neglect.
Are you a good mother?
I believe I am a good mother, yes.
Your daughter drank bleach from a sippy cup. She's had staph infections. She's had lice. She's had a book bag with maggots and mold.
I'm being the best mom that I can be.
Are her kids in danger?
Are you neglecting your children?
Purposely, no.
Is she a fit mother?
Do you have a prostitute babysitting your children?
No, I do not. Oh, really?
And is this family
You are so crazy, Jennifer. Please. Little miss, I can't even go to church without drinking a gin and tonic before you go.
capable of dealing
I am so angry, I can't see straight.
with the truth?
You're in over your head. You know that, right? This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If it matters to you, that's what I want to talk about. Are you ready in the booth? Let's do it.
Go, Dr. Phil.
How you doing? How you doing? 3-year-old girl drinks bleach. That was the headline and the reality of one family a very few years ago. If there was a headline today, it would not read much better. Maggots, mold, and rotten milk found in 7-year-old girl's school bag. Take a look.
When my granddaughter got off at the bus stop, her book bag had a smell permeating from it. I asked her to empty the book bag. Some of the things that fell out were 3 cartons of milk, so curled you could have taken a knife to it. It was just horrid. There was an apple, and the apple had kind of disintegrated, and there were maggots forming inside.
It was literally maggots coming out of an apple. I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I hope that I never do again. Jennifer does not get even any of the basics of parenthood, and it's scary.
I believe that my daughter drank and did drugs with every pregnancy that she has had. 3 years ago, Jennifer, she wanted to do laundry. She just put some Clorox bleach in a sippy cup. She had been doing drugs and drinking, and she passed out. My granddaughter, she saw her sippy cup. She picked it up and drank it. The headlines read, 3-year-old drinks bleach from sippy cup. That's how I got custody of my granddaughter. My granddaughter has had staph outbreaks, numerous lice outbreaks, frequently left unsupervised, behavior that is disturbing. I have seen her act out with dolls. My youngest grandson was born while Jennifer was in rehab. My daughter has left my grandson in the car for 30 minutes, perhaps it could have been longer, when there's a toddler in the car with no AC. And she's not aware that that's wrong. I do not think that Jennifer is capable of providing her children with a safe, healthy environment.
Now, Connie is the grandmother of these children, the mother of Jennifer, and she wrote to me because of these concerns and much more. And we're going to hear all of her accusations in this show, but first, I want Mark and Connie to hear Jennifer's side of the story.
I have 5 children. My oldest is 11. He lives with my mom. My 7-year-old lives with me. I have a 5-year-old and 4-year-old that I gave up for adoption. And I have my 2-year-old. All my children have different fathers. I think I'm a great mom. My mom has made up lies about me. I have a lot of animosity towards my mom. I don't trust her. My mom did say that my oldest son, Nathaniel, was sexually abused, and she called DSS. Nothing ever happened. To this day, she still defends it. I gave my mom temporary custody of my oldest son so that he could go to a better school. To this day, I still believe my mom tricked me. I believe that my mom always wanted him. She would have done anything to get him. If I get in an argument with my mom and I don't go along with it, I'm afraid that I won't be able to see my son.
Okay, 2 very different sides of the same story here, and you know, sometimes people just have different opinions, but then there are facts to support one side or the other, and that's what I want to look at today. And let me tell you up front, I'm not here to throw you under the bus today. I am here to change some of what you're doing.
Right.
because I think some of what you're doing doesn't even come close to what you need to be doing as a mother. I don't know if everything you're saying is objective or not, but we're going to find out. I've really appreciated your input to all of this because you're kind of once removed from it. Right. So you have a degree of objectivity, although I believe you would support your wife. You two are concerned about the 2 children that she has in her custody and control now, correct?
Yes.
You're afraid something bad is going to happen. Another headline is going to read something really tragic. Why are you so concerned?
The book bag incident says it all. When when we came to the trip, she dropped off Camden with 1 shirt, 8 diapers, no food to leave town, and just dropped them off with us. It's just constantly not realizing the care that needs to go out to the children. Something could happen.
What is your theory about why that food was in the backpack to begin with? You think she was hoarding food because there's not any at home?
I have a suspicion that, it might be because she wanted milk at her home. I know what Jocelyn has told me, that she doesn't have food. There's not food at her house, stuff like that. But, children do exaggerate. When she lived with me for 2.5 years, I have lots of food. They have their own drawer in the refrigerator. They have 2 pantry shelves. And so I probably do have at least 90% more snacks than she has now, I would guess. I don't know why.
Are you a good mother?
I believe I am a good mother, yes.
Really? What did you think about me saying there are some things that I think need to change, that you need to do a better job?
I believe you. I'm not 100%, by no means. I know there's things that I need to change. I don't say I'm a perfect mom. I say I'm a good mom.
Now, you've had 5 children.
Correct.
By 5 different fathers.
Correct.
And how old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, so in your 20s, by the time you're 30, you've had 5 children by 5 different fathers.
Correct.
Are you making good choices?
No. Have I made good choices in the past? No. Am I trying to do better now? Yes.
Because, I believe that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And I put together a timeline about what we're talking about here. You had 1 child in '99, and that is Nathaniel.
Correct.
Now, his father is currently incarcerated for trafficking cocaine, correct? Okay, so not a good choice there. Okay, 4 years later, you give birth to Jocelyn, who we're talking about, that comes home with a backpack that is so rancid with mold and maggot and decaying food that it just is overwhelming smell-wise. How do you not know that? How do you not smell that?
To my defense, she was staying with them that week. She was staying with them that week. It came home on Friday.
It had been in there a long time with its growing organisms.
Correct. Now, I do understand that. Now, maybe that Friday she came home because they bring home they have a thing at school where you bring home food over the weekend for your house for low-income parents. So that's where the food came from originally. Now, granted, it must have stayed in there for a while, but she had been staying mainly with Mother.
Know that?
I didn't know that. I didn't go through the book bag.
Okay, but you have her with a second father, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then in '04, you give temporary custody of your first child to your mother, correct?
Correct.
And you say she tricked you into that.
She did trick me into that.
Okay. And she's been tricking you now for 6 years?
No, now for 6 years. I went downhill after I gave temporary custody over to my mom and didn't get him back.
You say she tricked you. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Then in '05, you give birth to a 3rd child with a 3rd father.
Correct.
Okay.
I gave that child up for adoption.
Did you go through an adoption agency?
Yes, I did.
And proper papers are filled out?
I went through a lawyer.
Proper papers are filled out?
Correct.
So we can get the documentation for that. You know who this went to?
Yes.
This woman was studied? You understand the environment that the child went into?
Yes.
And you don't believe that?
She met the woman. She didn't hire an attorney to do it. I was helping her with an attorney for the adoption. Several attorneys that I spoke to said that they would not represent Jennifer because she had been drinking and doing drugs while pregnant. So Jennifer had went to the WIC office, which is a government agency that gives milk and whatnot, and some lady said, well, I know somebody who wants a baby. That's how this woman came into the picture, and she did hire an attorney, the lady did, because she wanted a baby, And that's how there was no group of parents who applied for this child. Did not happen like that.
Okay, in 06, you have another baby, child 4 now, with the 4th father.
Correct.
And you place that baby for adoption as well.
They
Why
went
do
to the
you
same
keep
family.
having babies if you're just placing them for adoption? You have 2. One of them is with your mother. Then you have 2 more that you place for adoption.
Right.
Why do you keep having babies if you're just going to have them and turn them over to someone else?
Well, when I was drinking, I was not careful and didn't use protection like I was supposed to. And I can't say. I was drinking, I was doing drugs, I was out there.
Okay, so far you've had 4 children, and you've retained custody of one of them, and she drinks bleach out of a sippy cup. You're doing drugs at this point. You go into rehab, you go into treatment, you do different things. Sometimes you get a little better, sometimes you don't. And then you have child number 5 in 09.
Right.
This is Camden.
Right.
With a 5th father. Mm-hmm. Okay, and during this time, 2.5 years, the one child that you kept is with your mother.
Right.
Okay, so you're 1 for 5.
Right.
That's been with you the entire time, and that's the current one. And you now have your daughter back with you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are you negligent with that child?
No.
Your mother says you are.
Well, I believe my mom would say I was.
Well,
Do I believe I'm perfect with my daughter? No. Do I think the book bag incident was disgusting and nasty and stuff?
well,
Yes.
this is the daughter. The daughter needs a break, right? This is the daughter that drank bleach from a sippy cup. She's had staph infections. She's had lice infestations. She's had a book bag with maggots and mold. That doesn't sound to me like you're being an attentive mother. What do you say?
I say I'm being the best mom that I can be.
Well, but that doesn't mean that that reaches the standard, right? It may be the best you can do, but maybe you're not
It does not mean it
equipped.
reaches the standard. Correct. You're right.
All right, we got to take a break. There's one thing Connie and Mark don't know about Jennifer yet. I've got a very important question for her when we come back, and we're going to look at this negligence standpoint. On its face, it certainly appears to be negligence, but we're going to put that to the test. We'll be back.
My grandchildren have been seen wandering out by themselves.
I'm very concerned about who watches those children.
I have been told that a prostitute happens to be one of the people who watch the children.
Well, Mark, Connie, and Jennifer all told us that Jennifer had been clean and sober for almost 2 years. But just days before the show, we discovered that just simply wasn't entirely true. Take a look.
I stopped using drugs. I checked myself into rehab. I was 9 months pregnant using with my son, and I realized that I had had enough. Basically just stayed clean after that. I went to NA meetings every day and then went to counseling and stuff. But the only thing is now, I used last month. I used ecstasy. That was the drug that I fell on. It got put in my hand and I shoved it in my mouth, and then it was like, what did I just do?
So you're doing drugs again?
I did, yes.
10 times in the last month?
Yes.
Okay, but what do you mean you did? That if you've done drugs 10 times in the last month, you're on drugs again?
Yes. Although I'm picking myself back up and starting back over. I want my 2 years back.
What do y'all think about this?
I was right.
I'm shocked. I'm just absolutely. But at the same time, this is what I told Connie. This is what was going to happen, and I love Jennifer.
He was right.
I love Jennifer more than anything, and I want so much for this girl to be able to get righted. She doesn't. What we see with children, and I'm certainly not perfect. I'm not a saint, but what we see with children and the values that we have and the direction that we think they need to go is not necessarily what Jennifer sees. She's not sitting back going, I'm going to be a neglectful mom. That's not her MO. But she's not dialed into the
Well,
things
you're her
that,
mother. What do you think about this?
I am so angry I can't see straight. We have went through all of our funds. I have given the second half of my life up to raise her children. I am angry. I have no money left. I'm getting older. We haven't even went on a date in years because we're too busy taking care of Jennifer and her children, our grandchildren. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Why did you start doing drugs again?
Oh, I'm sick of it. Poor Nathaniel. Sorry.
I gave up. I gave up. Why? Just, I don't know. I went without, I did my, 21 months or 22 months, whatever it was, and freaking on top of that, then I lost my medication for 2 months. I went a month without my medication. I lost my medication. I used, and I got my medication back, and I'm picking myself back up, and I'm moving on. And I can't do nothing about it.
She says you're having children for the money.
I
you're
didn't
having
get
kids.
a penny for giving my kids up for adoption.
I don't want.
Very much.
I didn't say you sold your children. You just give them away. You get a free
I'd
apartment.
rather
You
give
get
them
free
away
food, free
than
medical.
to have a mother
you get
who
free
can't take care
everything.
of them.
You had
And
a
I don't
free
want to hear
apartment
nothing
for
out of
4
you, little miss.
years.
You didn't raise me either.
You're
Thank you very much.
You are so crazy,
I don't want to
Jennifer.
hear nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Did you come
from
up with
you,
something to try
Mom.
to make yourself
nothing
look good?
from you.
Please.
Nothing. These people
Please.
don't know you, but anybody who does knows who you are.
Really?
And know you came up here just to freaking get something out of it, not to better me.
What did I get?
Little miss, I'm not going to
pawned
put my daughter
jewelry
under the
just
bus.
to pay
Look
for
at
your
the
food at the
screen,
airport.
woman. Look at the screen. That's really what you brought me here for?
Mark, I'm sorry.
Please.
Jennifer.
You're here. I don't want to hear
Don't
nothing.
talk to her.
Nothing
Don't talk to her. Don't talk
from
to her.
you.
Don't talk to her. Don't talk to her. She's worthless. She's worthless. Don't talk to her.
What do you mean she didn't raise you?
That's
She
it.
didn't
Got
raise
it.
me. My grandmom raised me.
You are so crazy. You are crazy.
I'm crazy.
I was
She didn't
pregnant
get custody
at
of me
14.
until I was 9 years old.
We talked to your mother, and she said she raised Jennifer
That's
until
a
she was
lie.
9 years old.
That's a lot. Well, you can technically say that's true. I was a 15-year-old mother. So I was working. We did live in my mother's house. I'm not going to say my mother didn't raise Jennifer with me. And no, Jennifer didn't have I was 15, for God's sake. I didn't read her. She doesn't have the same mother that Conrad has. My son now he's got the world at his footsteps. She couldn't possibly have that from a 15-year-old. But I'll tell you one thing I did do. I didn't take all the Americans' tax dollars and just keep having babies and getting free rent and stuff. I worked at 14 years old, said I was 16 for $3.05 an hour, and took no handouts.
Good,
None.
Mom. Good.
Not one.
Good job.
And
Your
I lived with
mother
my mom
says-
until I was 19.
We talked to your mother. She says this is not the only one here that needs help.
No, we
She
all
says,
need help.
She says you need help as well.
You're
she
right,
says you
I
have a
do.
history of drug and alcohol abuse.
Oh, for
she
God's
thinks you are
sake.
still using today.
Please.
I'm just, it's
Test
your mother.
me.
It's your mother.
Are you
I'll
serious?
take a test.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Serious
Test
right now?
me. I'm very serious.
All right, Mom.
She's afraid that you drink
I want to take a test today.
She
today.
says she's afraid that you drink and drive.
No,
Please.
I don't even get to go
Please.
anywhere. I'm too busy
Please.
with your
Little miss,
children.
I can't even go to church without drinking a gin and tonic before you go.
How would you know? You don't ever
Last
go to
time
church.
I went to church with you, yeah, because it was a joke. Let's go get drunk before we go to church.
No, Connie does not drink before
I'm just
she goes
telling
to
you
church.
what her mother.
So
I'm just telling you
full
what
of-
your
Oh,
mother
my
said
God.
because she
My
said
mother
she
lives-
wanted you to have help as well.
I want help.
So
I
mean,
want
look,
help.
we do our homework. We talk
I
to
do,
everybody
that's fine.
involved. We
You talk
talk
to my mom all you
we do
want.
what we call collateral contacts. We talk to people around the story so we can find out what's going on
sorry.
other than just from everybody here. And this is what your mother volunteered to us. All right, we got to take a quick break. Are you concerned now that you're going back down the drug slide?
If I wasn't, I wouldn't have came to the show.
Are you neglecting your children?
Purposely, no.
I don't care about the intent. Right now, I'm interested in protecting the children. Now, there are signs of neglect. In your state, there are definitions of neglect.
Correct.
Now, and one is inappropriate dress, that you see kids not dressed properly. According to Connie, your children show up not dressed properly for the weather. She's concerned about that. So according to her, she says yes. Consistent hunger. I am curious why a 7-year-old is putting food in her backpack and bringing it home if she doesn't feel like she needs food there for herself and her little brother. And I have been told that you get food stamps. Is that true?
Correct.
And I have been told that you sometimes sell those food stamps for cash.
I have before.
And you'll sell like $500 worth of food stamps for $200 in cash?
No.
So what do you sell and for how much?
If I need $50 for my car insurance or something, I have, yes.
Where are
I'm
you
not
getting the
gonna
money
lie.
for the drugs you've been doing?
The drugs I've been doing, I have been working. And I want to correct the child DSS thing. I went to court after the book bag incident. Mom had already turned me into DSS. They sent all the stuff to DSS. And my caseworker said that she wasn't listening to it, not to worry about it. It's even in my court papers. Nothing came
Okay,
of
they
it.
dismissed the case 48 hours after you took the backpack down there, a case that had been open for 4 years.
Correct.
Okay, poor hygiene. That's one of the definitions, poor hygiene.
Correct.
We've seen lice, we've had staph infections. That suggests poor hygiene, does it not?
The lice also was in Mother's house, too. Yes, kids get lice. Kids get lice. They come home from school with
I wonder how
lice.
it got there.
Yeah, because it just.
She was infested last week. Did you tell them that?
Yes, I did. I told the producer that.
Yeah.
Consistent lack of supervision. There have been stories throughout you having children. Your 2-year-old burning his hand on the stove. Nathaniel being caught hung on the fence when he was 3 years old. Stories that the 7-year-old is supervising the 2-year-old while you're gone.
That's not true, but okay.
I'm asking.
No, that's not true.
That's what I'm
If
being
you're
told.
asking, no. That's
Okay,
not
so you say that's not true.
No.
Unattended physical and medical problems. Certainly the lice and the staph infections are of concern to me, and it's my understanding that you've missed 2 appointments from surgery.
Surgery for what?
Camden.
His
Ears.
tubes, you were
My
no-shows
son's
for his
got
surgery.
tubes in his
You were
ears, that's just
no-show for the
whatever.
first 2 surgeries.
My son's.
You no-showed.
Whatever, Mom.
Abandonment. Certainly there's a question there. Mark says that you drop the kids off. You never know how long they're going to be, a day, 2 days, a week, however long.
Months.
And 2 children. And I hope you've put these children through legal adoption process when you placed them
Yes,
for
I have.
adoption, and that you studied, did home studies, and you
I still
complied
speak
with
to
the
the
law.
woman this day. Everything's
So you
legal.
know where they are.
Yes.
And then underweight and poor growth at this point, we don't know. We know Nathaniel wasn't talking at 3 years old.
Immediate family he would speak to. He didn't have enough confidence to speak to public.
Oh my God.
Do you have a
They're
prostitute
out there.
babysitting your children?
No, I do not.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just
really?
telling you what she's saying.
That's fine.
I just
That's
want to know.
fine.
That's
We
what
have
you
a
called her.
video of your apartment. I have to say, this does not look clean.
It's
It
not clean,
does
no.
not look
Oh,
hygienic.
No.
This isn't just being messy. This seems to me to be astoundingly neglectful of the living environment you have 2 children living in. You walk into those rooms, you see that every day, right?
Correct.
Well, at what point do you not say, this is no environment for my children to be in? I need to clean this up. That is not just messy, that is unclean, correct?
That is a buttload of clothes.
Well, look at the bathtub.
The bathtub's disgusting, yes. My drain won't drain. Yes, my apartment is ridiculous. I will not defend that.
Well, why don't you do something about it?
Well, I guess I need to.
Do you want to have more children?
I would like to get married one day and have another child, yes.
We'll be back. Closed captioning provided by Connie says that she has seen your daughter playing with her dolls in a sexually provocative way, in putting them into sexual positions,
Okay.
and that she has seen her touching herself in a sexual way. And you have reported this
Yes.
to the authorities?
To the social service caseworker who said she wasn't listening to anything, also to the guardian ad litem. Everybody knows.
So you've known about...
And I'm not the only one who's seen it.
And I'm not saying this is true or not true. I'm just saying it is a report. Did you know about it?
No, I did not.
Liar,
So you've not told...
She's a
They've not told
liar.
you about this?
About
She's a
some Barbies,
liar.
freaking kid
You're a
playing with
liar.
Barbies sexually? No,
You're
I
a
haven't been told
liar.
about that.
Okay, the reason I ask about it, Jennifer, and again, I'm trying to forget about them for a minute. I'm trying to help you here.
All right.
Because I will tell you from a professional standpoint, if that report is true and accurate, then that would be a warning sign
To have something.
that perhaps something inappropriate had happened with your daughter. Doesn't
Correct.
mean that it has, because there are a lot of influences on television and other kids and all sorts of things. But as a professional, that would be that would hit the radar for me.
Correct.
And I would want to make sure that someone was not being inappropriate with my daughter.
Right.
I'd make sure somebody wasn't touching her inappropriately, that she wasn't being exposed to something inappropriate. That would be of concern to me.
Right.
Is it of concern to you?
If that did happen, yes.
To play acting,
Right.
which is something that children don't just make up. They've seen that somewhere.
Right.
Now, in this day and time, there's a lot of places they could see that on television and cable, and kids with television and cable. I mean, they could influence each other. It's not prima facie that she has been molested or touched inappropriately, but if I were a parent, I would want to know the source of the content that's in my daughter's mind,
Right.
and you want to check that out, right?
Right.
Well, now, due to the confidentiality, the Department of Social Services told us that they could not comment on this story. But as a mother, I'm telling you, this is something you should be attentive to. This should be on your radar, and I would recommend that you have her evaluated by a professional to determine whether or not something inappropriate has taken place.
Okay.
Now, there is a child here that is currently living with you that's 11 years old. And it's not often that an 11-year-old asks specifically to talk to me. But this child does want to talk to me, and I assume it's okay with everybody here for me to sit down and talk to this minor child. We're going to hear what he has to say about this whole thing when we come back.
I love my mom, but she can't take care of herself. Her apartment complex is filled with a whole bunch of bad things. Someone dying, scary. And I've told her to move a whole bunch of times, but then she starts crying and telling me she's not gonna move. She can't take care of any of the kids, so that's why I had to come with my grandma. I think Dr. Phil can help a lot of people, and I think he's really smart. My mom needs help. I think he could help her.
Closed captioning provided by...
I probably see my oldest son once a month, if that. His 2-year-old brother doesn't know who he is. I was supposed to get him back at the end of the year. My mom was supposed to just sign it back over to me, and she never did that.
He was really going to live with me during the week and her on the weekends for the better school.
I don't have the money to get a lawyer to go get him back.
Daniel, how you doing?
Good.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah? I understood that you wanted to talk to me, and I've been out having adult conversations with your grandmother that's, I guess, kind of mom to you.
Yeah. Call Mom.
And Mark and your mother Jennifer. Yeah. And we're talking about adult things that I hate for you to be involved in any way.
Yeah.
But you're a pretty mature young man. I wanted to give you a chance to tell me whatever you wanted to say or ask any questions you wanted to ask.
Yes, sir.
So shoot, what do you want to say?
I was wanting to say, like, my mom, she's doing real bad with, like, because she can't really take care of herself, and it's like the people around her can't help her because they're kind of like her, and mom has kids, and there's lots of going bad.
Well, are you around over there very much?
No, not really, because I get afraid when I'm over there. Like, I'm afraid of the people I'm around because they just look like really scary people, like big.
Yeah. So it's a it's a rough place to be.
Yeah.
What do you call Connie? Do you call her grandmother, mother? What do you call her?
I call her Mom.
You call her Mom? You know she's your grandmother, but you call her Mom. Yeah.
She used to not let me do that when I was like a little kid because she didn't want me to hurt my mom's feelings. But she allows me to call her Mom now.
So you kind of have two moms, you think of it that way?
Yeah.
When you and Connie are together, do y'all talk about your mom very much?
We don't usually want to talk about it because, like, she knows I don't like hearing about what she's done bad because I just don't like hearing about it because I want her to get the most help she can have so she can change her life around.
Do you miss her?
Yeah, I miss her because, like, I remember, because, like, when I was a little kid, she used to come around a whole bunch, but she don't do that now.
Yeah. Well, you say that your mother's not able to take care of herself very well. How do you know that?
It's like I've seen the way she's lived, and her rooms aren't that really neat, and she don't have any food in her house, and she don't have pretty much anything.
Do you worry about your little sister and little brother?
Yeah, because they get problems like with their hygiene and school, because like Jocelyn misses school like every week.
What do you want to see happen with your mother?
I want to see like my mom get help, and if she wants it, I want her to change her life around, because she's getting to the age where she needs to have her life change.
I want for you to know that your mother loves you very much.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean, I really believe she loves you very, very much. I think she loves your brother and your sister very much as well. And sometimes life can get really confusing and can get really hard to choose the right things, to wake up every day and do the things that you need to do. But your mother's here because she wants to get some help with all of that.
Yeah.
You know, she really does. She wants to be, you know, healthy and happy, and she wants you to be very much healthy and happy as well. So I want you to know that. And secondly, I want you to know that I'm going to do everything I can to get them the kind of help that they need. We're going to try to fix this so everybody's healthy and safe and happy. And we're working on that. And what you need to do is be a kid.
Yeah.
And let us take care of the adult stuff. You shouldn't be worrying about this. And just know that help has arrived here. We're going to really work on this and see if we can get everybody headed in the right direction, okay? I've heard your concerns. I get what you're saying, and I'm going to use that information to really help your mom. So you've been a big help to me in helping her. So feel good about that, but now let me take it from here. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's good to talk to you, buddy.
Did you too?
You take care. Well, I'm back with Mark and Connie and Connie's daughter, Jennifer. I've just been back talking with your son. Very impressive young man. You know, kids are really resilient. But the fact is, they shouldn't have to be. You shouldn't have to be that resilient. It should be clear to you, he loves you very much. He loves you and he misses you. And he loves his little brother and sister. And he's worried about them. And I think that's a terrible burden for an 11-year-old, don't you? What do you think about all this?
I don't know. I don't want him to.
You're in over your head here. You know that, right? I look at your apartment and the way that you're living. That's terrible for you, and it's terrible for the children. I look at the fact that you've relapsed and started doing drugs again. Ecstasy now, you know the drill. You know you're at risk. You've got a daughter that's having some terrible experiences here. She should not be experiencing these things. She's getting infections. She's getting lice. She's getting, do these things happen with children? Of course they do, but there seems to be a concentration here. We need to help her. We need to help you help them. I don't want you to lose those children. I want you to flourish with those children. And you can't take care of them if you don't take care of yourself. And I get that you don't have good feelings towards her right now. And I don't know where the truth lies. I think you have some good points. You may be sensitized to the point that maybe you overreact. I don't know. But based on what I'm seeing, I see very real reasons for your concerns.
Yes.
We've got to get this turned around. And we're building a house on sand if you're doing drugs. I don't know. There's as long as we've got that in the mix, that's got to stop. There's nothing else to talk about.
Right.
And I don't know if you feel like you need to be back in rehab, if you feel like, what do you think? You talk to me here.
I think that I don't think I need to go back to rehab, no. I think I need to be making my NA meetings again.
Your entire situation has to change. I mean, you
Correct.
get that, right? I mean, your living arrangement has to change. You've got to raise the bar. You've got to hold yourself to a higher standard here. That place you're living, I don't know about the place itself, but the manner in which it's being managed, I've been so poor I couldn't pay attention, but I was always clean.
Right.
You're not even clean.
Right.
Your place. You've got to change this. You need some help with this, and you need some accountability, not with her. She is not your accountability source here. There's too much baggage between the two of you. And I'm willing to help you and work with this, but you have to understand that my number one priority is the safety and well-being of your children. You're a close second,
Right.
but they're number one.
Right.
Kids don't have a voice. I'm their voice right now.
Right.
And I'm saying it for them. You need to clean your act up here. And it isn't about her. You can like her or don't like her. I don't care. Right now, that's not even on my radar. My radar is you getting yourself cleaned up, getting that place cleaned up, getting those kids cleaned up, and having some accountability.
Right.
And I will bring you some resources that will help you with this.
Okay.
That will help you inside your home, that will help you with those children, that will help you in every way that you can need help. And I'm going to ask you to give those people permission to give me progress reports.
Okay.
Because I want to know what's going on.
Right.
And when I get a resource and make an appointment for you, you need to show up.
Right.
You need to show up. And you need to really work hard at taking care of yourself.
Okay.
You deserve a better life as well. And we'll see how this goes over the next 30 days or so and see where we are.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, we'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by... Well, I want to thank Connie, Mark, and Jennifer for being here. And Connie, I'm glad you wrote this letter. And even though you have some issues with her, I hope you're glad she wrote the letter. And I hope we're going to have a follow-up on you soon that makes everybody, especially your children, very happy. So we're going to keep working on this. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Are you glad you came?
Yes.
All right. If you want to send me your comments, you can email me at drphil.com. Thanks for being here so long.